It's Banned and Restricted Day! That's right, today is the day that they go ahead and fix all of the perceived issues, or actual issues should I say, that are in the formats you love. Is your favourite deck in Modern unplayable because Fury or Grief absolutely shit in your open mouth? Don't worry, they're gonna do something. Is Pioneer apparently garbage? I don't really play it, but everyone on Twitter always says it is. Well, don't worry, they'll ban something, like Khan or some shit. Except they won't. October 16th, 2023, Banned and Restricted announcement. There are no changes to announce for formats. There are no changes to announce for formats. That sentence reads real weird. View the list of all banned and restricted cards by format here. Just in case you want to check about the cards that just make the formats miserable for you and read that they aren't there. Don't worry though, format goals play booster announcement. This explains to us that our goal of a greater consistency across all formats, we're making no changes to any formats. Also, here's a link to an ad about how products are changing. What the fuck? Look, this video is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com. Hit the link in the description below and use the code KENOBI at checkout for 5% off your order. If you're looking to buy singles or seal product, if you're looking to buy into Fury now, it's not getting banned. But, okay. So, let's talk a little bit about how this announcement is really weird for me to make a video about right now. My focus has been primarily on... I played quite a bit of Modern recently when Beans got released. I played a lot of Beans decks in it, the first couple of weeks. It was kind of fun. New cards are fun, right? And I've been playing a ton of Commander at my local game store, been playing my Minicube, playing with the Doctor Who precons, loving the cards in these things. So my focus on Magic has shifted a little bit. It moves around. When you make content about Magic and you play Magic as much as I get to, you have to move around to not get bored or to not get, I don't know, frustrated with bollocks like the current state of Modern. Also, if we're going to try and do a shit sandwich. I don't actually know what the positive point at the end is going to be, but if we're going to do a shit sandwich, this piece of bread on this side is that Legacy feels pretty fun right now. We streamed it a little bit recently with weird decks like Agatha's Soul Cauldron, Bomberman. I did some stuff on Dukes on Twitch with Maverick a couple of weeks ago, and that was really fun. There are just lots of fun and interesting decks and a fun and interesting format right now in Legacy. But I do miss the humble days of Modern when it used to be a format that I played a lot of. I used to play loads of D&T in both Legacy and Modern because the decks were so different and the metagames were so different that brought a different play experience with different cards you could play that were uniquely fun in their own right. Unfortunately, the decks that I like to play in Modern, I mean, I've played a lot of decks in Modern over the years, but the main decks I like to play are just not playable because of Fury. Look, I've talked about Fury a lot on the channel. I've done multiple videos talking about it, and to be honest, I focus so much on this because this is the one that really dumps on my game plans. I completely ignore the fact that Grief is a problem too. Look, if you want to hear about the Evoke elementals and the issues I have with them, I will link in the cards, the description, and the end screen of this video, my video about why Fury is a fucking blight upon Magic the Gathering. The whole elemental pitch cycle kind of are, even if I play Solitude and Legacy, where it's less of an issue. But beyond that, if we just take a moment to look at this consolidated information from Frank Carsten. Frank Carsten is like the math guy for metagame breakdowns and stuff. He's done it officially for Wizards themselves and other institutions too. Here he looks at the Modern metagame updated for the RCQ season, and as you can see, Rakdos Evoke is 22.4% of the metagame of the current RCQ system, the season should I say, with 4-color Omnath coming at 8.5, and then so nothing even gets to break the 10%. And Goldfish stats are obviously flawed, but if we look at those, Rakdos midrange is apparently 21.5% of the metagame, with Omnath coming at 10, and then everything else is sub around 6 or below. So we have a format dominated by Modern Horizons cards, the One Ring, Bowmaster, and an Omnath or a Titan. Some Tron lands. Apparently Burn is doing okay. And ultimately I've been resigned to the idea of just playing whatever the new hotness is to get a little bit of experience with what's happening in Modern, like the Beans decks that I was playing upon Wilds of Eldraine release, and then moving away from the format again, because it's just not what I want to be spending most of my time playing, because it's just not as fun as I want it to be. And that comes from two things. One, the decks I like playing getting completely dumpstered, so I can't play Mana Dorks and Creatures and Disruption because they just die to Fury. Again, watch my Fury video. Or B, that the deck that plays Fury and Grief is obnoxious. Like, Scam is not a fun play pattern. Now, it's not unusual for them to ban decks that either have logistical issues or are unfun to play against because they want to cultivate a diverse metagame or a fun experience. That has happened in the past. But somehow the deck that can double Thought Seize you on turn 1 and leave a 3/2 body on the board for playing 2 cards and is 20% of the metagame is just not being considered or discussed. Like, this ban announcement is fucking laughable. Like, This feels like a parody. This feels like a Magic the Gathering Onion article in many ways. The fact that it has absolutely no discussion of the state of Modern, Pioneer, or any of the other Eternal formats. And the reason I'm focusing on Eternal here, not even mentioning Standard, is that Standard is primarily to be talked about in the once-a-year announcement, and these emergency spots are for if they fuck something, and Eternal formats, due to their own language and stuff they've said in the past. These will be where they adjust Eternal formats when they can. But nothing, there's literally absolutely nothing discussed here whatsoever. Not a single fucking morsel, not a crumb, not a little trail or a glimmer of hope. It is literally a blank page. Except for the fact that they want us to tell us about play boosters, which in itself is a stealth price increase, by the way. If you want to hear more about that, I'll have another video coming out on the channel maybe an hour after this one, talking through play boosters exclusively, my feelings on them. That's a mixture of positive and negativity. There's a lot of good stuff there. There's some shit stuff too, some really shit stuff. But ultimately, I can't fucking believe Modern had no changes. I am shocked. I was so hopeful for it finally to happen. But nothing. Part of me wonders if we're stuck with what we've got until Modern Horizons 3 drops and then they start banning them. You know how Modern Horizons 2 was all new cards or old cards being put into Modern, like Modern Horizons 1 was, but the exception for 2 was that we had fetch line reprints. I wonder if 3's exception is that we have reprints from 1 and 2, Modern Horizons 1 and 2. And therefore we have Evoke elementals in it. And if that's the case, that's part of the reason we don't want to get these banned, right? So we don't have some of the chase mythics and the premium priced set that's coming up sometime next year banned and not desirable in Modern, one of the most played Eternal formats. That is a little bit silver tinfoil hat, and ultimately I really hope it doesn't come true, because it just reeks of fucking corporate cynicism, I guess. So maybe that isn't the case, but I am lost as to why we aren't seeing any changes whatsoever. And to come down to what I would have liked to have seen, I would have liked to see not only some of the Evoke elementals get banned, like Grief and Fury, but I would have liked to see the format just shook up in general. Some unbans would have been nice. Like, is Pod too good in the current metagame now? Will it not just get absolutely fucking smashed by everything else while it tries to set up its combo? So some sort of unbans, perhaps, and just shake-ups, because one of the issues that I face as someone who plays a little bit of Modern and just moves away from it constantly, because I'm just not as into it as I once was, is that I don't really understand what happens when Scam stops being the top dog. Like, if we remove Scam's teeth, then it becomes this, like, well, it just stops being a deck overnight, because it'll be a red-black mid-range or red-black rock deck somewhere along the line, but Scam itself would be gone if we banned both Grief and Fury. What is that keeping in check? Does Omnath become the best deck? Does Tron become the best deck overnight? I don't really know or understand that. So in some ways, I wonder if when they do get around to trying to fix this format, whether it needs to be like a wholesale revamp, multiple bans and unbans, or whether it needs to do just regular unbannings and bans. What I would love to see, ultimately, and I get that this is from a position of bias where I'm not playing the format, I'm not really financially invested in the format right now, so I'm not going to get something I love banned or unbanned or whatever, but I would like it to be like original Pioneer banning, where they were doing things once a month. I'd love to see a 12-month period in Modern where they ban and unban and just tweak the format over and over, and just see where the challenges and the big events end up. Having this stagnant 20% is this fucking Scam deck that double thoughts you on turn 1 and blows out your board with relative ease is fucking miserable. Modern is like a rotting corpse right now, and I'd love them to I was going to say put some energy and some juice into it. We could do a necromancy analogy. This is Magic after all. So it's not all doom and gloom. I'm enjoying the little Legacy I've played lately, and I'm loving Commander right now. Just Modern's fucked, and Pioneer I just don't play. It's so funny to see people certain that Bowmaster and Ring were going to get some attention as well, considering they were digitally revamped in Historic, something I did end up making a video about. And I'm like, well, that's not necessarily the case, right? Because some cards are too good in some formats and not others. Ren in 6 is legal in Modern, but banned in Legacy because it's too good there. And there's lots of examples of that. So it's funny to me that people were like, no, this is it. The Ring and Bowmaster are getting banned. I'm like, why would banning the Ring affect Scam? If anything, it makes Scam's matchups better, doesn't it? Ultimately, I'm really fucking disappointed. I'm laughing, literally laughing at how bad this ban restriction announcement is. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. I do read all the comments, and we'll be discussing on my Discord as well. So if you want to help support the show, Patreon, link down there in the description for that as well. $2 a month, come on my Patreon, and we just wax lyrical. I try not to be too pessimistic on my Discord about this shit. I try to get people to talk through how they're feeling and stuff, but sometimes it's hard when one of your favourite formats of the old day is unrecognisable anymore, because its face has been furied off and its arsehole has been chewed upon by a Grief. I'm trying to make out like Grief's like a tapeworm there. I don't know if that worked. Imagine Grief is a tapeworm. Modern has a tapeworm right now. Why is that my ending line? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all soon. Ta-ta for now.